So the Corporate Funders Affinity Group is basically all of us who have any type of relationship with a business or industry. It doesn't necessarily have to be just corporate funders, because our foundation partners, you guys are a lot of times the people that we look to as best practices. So certainly if you're ever interested in what the corporate funders are doing, we'd ask that you come over and join us in any particular capacity, because a lot of times there's some collaborative efforts with doing that. So we've got some really great programs set up for this year. The first one is coming up, I can't remember if it's 13th or 14th, 13th of March. And that is working, you go.
Forming impactful corporate nonprofit partnerships. So we have two companies, Apollo Group and Raytheon, who will be talking about their real life best practices.
And then in May, what we're hoping to schedule, and are still working on it, is bringing in a national partner. We've got some inroads out to Coca-Cola for their corporate philanthropy group to come out and talk basically about employee engagement, how you can actively engage your employees with your community relations activities. That could be both volunteerism and grants, but also messaging. A lot of times when you're working with corporate funders, as a lot of you know, it's really difficult for us to tell our employees what we're doing so that they understand and what opportunities are available for them. So we wanted to look to some of those business leaders to actually give us some information on that. Still working on that, but hopefully we'll get back soon. And then in September, it's how corporate funders and foundations decide on collaborative partnerships. So that's where we will specifically reach out to our foundation partners to come on in. That was one of the best meetings that we had last year through the Corporate Funders and Community Group, to learn how we all work, which is different but also very similar in some cases. A lot of times you guys have more money than we do, and so we're very, very jealous. And then the final is the December meeting, which we're really looking more as kind of a social aspect, but also what did you do this year that was great? What are you planning for next year? And also tips and tricks. One of the things about the Corporate Funder Group is we really work with all of us and look to each other kind of as our own little Better Business Bureau. That we talk about the programs we're doing, we talk about our nonprofit partners in the nicest possible terms. You know, what's going on, what have you heard? And this is a really great opportunity for us to get to know what everybody else is doing. While we have some overlap in some areas, everyone's got their own specialties. So it's nice to hear what else is going on so that we can direct people that we may not be able to work with because of our guidelines, but we know that there's other programs out there and vice versa. So that's a plug. Our Corporate Funder Affinity Group is only as good as the actual membership in the group, and I would imagine that applies to all of the affinity groups. So if you have friends, family, coworkers, any other colleagues out there in the industry that can come in and be part of it, we'd really appreciate it. We love picking others' brains and stealing their ideas and calling them our own.